Good morning, everybody. Welcome behind the scenes here at Jamie Riddler Studios. I am Jamie. It is Wednesday, and I am just feeling good today. I am just feeling kind of relaxed and kind of in the energy and wisdom and creativity that seems to be surrounding all of these wonderful things I'm doing this week. And so instead of feeling pressed and pushed and busy, I am actually feeling this great sense of joy and richness, and like I am steeping in the tea of all this goodness, and I am just loving it. Yesterday, my sisters Susie and Shannon and I, we all hosted Start Live. Yay! And it was so exciting to bring our YouTube show to everybody live and have such a great creative conversation. If you were there, thank you so much for joining us live. And if you weren't able to make it live, be sure to join the studio over at openthedoor.ca. And on Sunday, when I send out the love letter, then you will get a link to watch the show, so you won't miss it. And the conversation, it was so lively and also really encouraging for us too. So thank you for that. And I left it with so many thoughts churning and moving around inside. Some of those questions really brought up and pushed my thinking forward. It's very exciting when we can experience things, connect to things that expand us, that open up our heart or expand our thinking or deepen our understanding. And that can happen to us anywhere. That can happen when we suddenly become aware of a moment or a habit. It can happen while we're standing in line at the grocery store, or it can happen we're in the middle of a great creative conversation, or it can happen when we open a newsletter from somebody and we read it and suddenly there's a wisdom in there that touches our heart. That actually happened to me twice between yesterday and today. One was I was reading an article in the Lion's Roar, it's a Buddhist publication, about how to become a bodhisattva. One of the things that was in there in big letters and just sort of stopped me in my tracks was, everyone is your guest. Everyone is your guest. If you've been watching, you know I've got a lot of hosting coming up. Hosted Start Live in my kitchen yesterday. I host Journal Club on Friday, Journal Jam Friday night, and Thanksgiving this weekend for my entire family. And so hosting has been on my mind. It's something I love to do. That statement, everyone is your guest, just opens something up to me. And it really has me thinking, like, what would be different if you treated your doctor as your guest? What would be different if you stepped on the streetcar and thought, everyone here is my guest? It's funny, as I'm saying that now out loud, it sounds a little like, this is my life and you're all a guest in it. But I certainly don't think that's the intention. It's this feeling of, how can I be a great host to you? What are the qualities of a great host? What do you know about how you treat somebody who is your guest? What if for one day you experimented with this? I mean, I don't know what it would be like. It just captures my imagination and I want to try it. So what if it captures your imagination too? Why don't you try it along with me and just see, if I walk through my day as though everyone were my guest and I was their host, what would be different? I think that sounds like a great experiment. The other thing that really captured me was I was reading Mark Silver's newsletter today, and Mark has a business called The Heart of Business. He's a business teacher I admire very much, that I have studied with. And if you are a heart-centered entrepreneur, if you want to come from a place of love and compassion and deep truth, then I really recommend you check out Heart of Business. And Mark was talking about brush hogging your business. And I was like, when I saw that title, I was like, what is he talking about? And he was talking about the way how tending fields can be a good model for how we tend our business. And the very first thing he said was, maintain your wild lands. Maintain your, it still softens something in me. And I actually, when I hear it, and I told him this, I wrote back right away and said, Mark, when I heard that, what my body shifted. But what I also read was maintain your wild. That's what I heard, maintain your wild. And for me, as a freedom-loving, independent spirit, and who's someone who grew up, well, without very many rules, when I was a little girl, in fact, I think I was about 9 when I went to my mom and said, Mom, can I have a bedtime? And she looked confused because until then, I went to bed when I was tired. And I did. I went to bed when I was tired. And my mom said, well, what time would you like? I said, 8:30. She said, okay. And that was my bedtime. And I wanted that because everybody else had it. But for me, following my instincts, running free, had just been a part of my culture, had been a part of who I was, and is a big part of who I am now. And so when I read that, maintain your wild, it touched something in me, and about the importance of, in my own life, in my own schedule, having some time that is like that time I had in Roxborough, some barefoot time, some unscheduled time, some just follow your instincts time. And I think that that's crucial to myself as an artist, to myself as a creative being, and to myself as a person who creates classes and work that I share with others. So that I think especially when you do work where you are in connection with other people all the time. So yes, I am here in my studio by myself a lot of the time, but my work is sent out into the world and feels very rooted in the people that I want to touch, so that we have this magical energy string between us. That it's also important, especially for my own creative work, to have some wild, to have room for whatever springs out of my heart. Maybe it'll be for somebody else. Maybe it'll be for nobody but me. Maybe it will be perfect for the world of Jamie Ridler Studios, and maybe it'll be wildly inappropriate for that. Maybe it will be the book that I meant to write, or maybe it will be a song I meant to sing. But it's being in connection with that wild energy that keeps me free and fresh and alive and me. Do you have some wild in your life? Do you have some unstructured time, some space where you are free to follow the wildness outside of the bounds, outside of what's appropriate, outside of what's expected, outside of what you normally do? A place to risk, a place to fly or burrow or think small or dream big, or whatever it is that springs out of you or comes alive through you without restriction or judgment or assessment or editing. Just wild. I think we all need that. So that is shifting a little bit. I've been feeling like in my schedule, I should have more downtime. I should have more writing time. I should, whatever it is. But this isn't a should. This is a like coming to the river and drinking. You know, this is water splashing in your face and putting your hair in and wildly letting the drops fly as you shake it off. This is not a should. This is a must that is driven by that wild spirit within. So maybe that speaks to you too. And if it does, I say, let us get a little wild this week so that we can remember that part of ourselves and feel into how to make that a part of our everyday life. So thank you, Mark, for really awakening something, reminding me of my wild spirit and the importance to leave some of the wildlands for me, for you, for everyone. So I think that's where I'll leave you and me in the wild.
Brittany, how did each of you identify yourselves as kids, and how you do it? Oh, that's a good question. How do you identify yourself now? Who is the artist, the writer? Oh my God, you into our family, Brittany? Oh my gosh! And how has it changed? Okay, and has it ever been an issue for any or all of you? Issue?